So this week's gospel deals with the parable of the prodigal son, and thought it might be a good idea to use this as a segue into the sacrament of discussion about the sacrament of reconciliation. I'm putting something in the bulletin this week about confession from Saint Bernard, the middle-aged abbot. And I thought I might talk something along the lines of reconciliation, sin, dealing with the dark side of our soul with this sports talk. And I'm going to go in a rather interesting, maybe strange direction. I've been listening to 3 videos between a Father Ripperger and the famous evangelist Christophanic. Father Ripperger is an exorcist. I believe he's out of Denver, and they have a really great discussion in 3 videos about sin, about spiritual warfare. And the trouble with it, when you talk about this stuff and you talk about the devil, you get all this like Ghostbusters thing, and the tendency is to go in one of 2 directions. So the one direction is you totally ignore it and go, that's fairy tale stuff, or it's not really any big deal. It certainly doesn't affect me. And that's very naive and that's very foolish. Or you go in the other direction where like you see a devil under every rock, and every little thing that goes wrong for you, you say, I'm under a satanic attack, all right? And what's great about the conversation is they really they look at it from a number of angles. They look at it. They talk about different levels of dealing with psychology, mental illnesses, and true demonic attacks. What's the difference? What do they look like? They have a very candid and a very compelling discussion about our own sinfulness. They talk about our own personal responsibility, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's pretty fascinating, and I think it's well worth your while. Now it's 3 videos; each one's about 30 minutes, so you're talking about an hour and a half here. But I think it would be worth your while to take a look at it. I think you'll find it very enlightening. In video 2, they deal with something that I sometimes think I come into contact with in confession, and it's this idea of binding prayer. I have people come to confession and they confess the same sin over and over and over and over again. Weeks, months, years. It's the same thing, and Father in the video sometimes says, if you get usually it's like one temptation. It could be lust, it could be anger, it could be pride, it could be foul language, whatever it is. He says that might be that there might be an element of the demonic in that, and what he talks about at the 6-minute mark of video 2. Is what he calls a binding prayer, which has been part of our Catholic tradition for centuries. And basically a binding prayer is something along the lines of, let's say you're suffering from the spirit of lust. The spirit of lust with the I place you under the blood of our Savior Jesus Christ, and with the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary, I bind you and send you to the foot of the cross where you will receive your sentence. It's a powerful prayer, and he gives an example of it at about 6 minutes, 7 minutes of the video. Maybe you're running into this stuff. This is part of our Catholic faith. This is part of our Catholic tradition. And if there's one sin that or temptation you seem to be struggling with over and over again, try it. What have you got to lose? And in this regard, as we go into this great gospel about God's forgiveness and God's love for us, use all of the tools that we have at our disposal. And my prayer for you is that you would be freed from any kind of temptation that seems to constantly come up to you, and that you would feel God's love, God's mercy, and God's peace.